Hello and good evening and welcome to Social Distancing Live tonight. I hope you're well. I'm not in a cave, although it might sound like I'm in a cave. I'm actually just above Llanelli Hill in Lower Gethley Felin. And I'm going to duck out the way so you can have a look. What a beautiful scene. And that picture was provided for Social Distancing Live by my mother and father, Frank and Nancy Westall. Her evening mum, she's just joined us now. Hi to Sarah Hilton. Hi to Janice Jones as well. And hope you're well. Hi to Beulah. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So tonight we've got Simon Tuck from Premier Christian Radio. Used to be on UCB as well, the two major Christian radio stations. He's our special guest tonight, and we're going to have a bit of fun with him. He's a really, really great speaker, as you would imagine, and really entertaining and engaging. He's got a wealth of stories over the years from broadcasting, many years in the media as well. So looking forward to speaking to Simon. We're going to have a spot of worship as well. And hi to Camille Meskill. Only messing. Camille was on Monday night. Please go and check out her wonderful testimony and wonderful music. Her in the Light Room, of course, and Josh, her partner as well, makes some fantastic music. So hi Camille, welcome to Social Distancing Live. Hi to Gavin from the Rhondda. How you doing? Hope you're well. Yeah, it's the the valley in the background, is it, Mum? Well, yeah, can't make it out. I think that's not the heads of the valley there. But anyway, there we go. So I'm going to be brave. I'm going to play a song that I wrote last night, or finished off last night, the first draft. It's not been through due diligence or whatever. But hey, I just thought, stuff it, I'm going to play it. It's sometimes you've got to be brave and be a bit vulnerable. So this one is called Pour Your Spirit Out, or Pour Your Spirit Out. I don't know, Pour Your Spirit. Anyway, the title is up for debate, but this is the song. Lord, pour your spirit down upon me. Fan the fading embers in my soul. Burn the hurt and lies with fires of heaven. Let your living water overflow. We need your touch. I need your love. Lord, come in power. We long for your presence. Holy Spirit, fall afresh on us. Show you wonder and might in all of the heavens. Holy Spirit, fall afresh on us. We need your touch. I need your touch. I need your love. I need pour your spirit out. Pour your spirit out. Pour your spirit out on us. Pour your spirit out. Pour your spirit out. Pour your spirit out on us. Hallelujah. Come like never before. 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 Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So there's a special Rough as Badgers not been demoed song for you. That was quite vulnerable there. I felt so scared doing that because normally I go through quite a rigorous process before I share anything at all. So that was just after I come off air last night. I just felt like that prayer come out of me, and basically, Chris Isaac, so sorry. Let me put this comment up by Camellia. It makes me think of Wicked Game by Chris Isaac. I was thinking Blue Hotel. It's a bit of a rip-off of Blue Hotel by Chris Isaac, but there you go. So hello to John Chadwick there. Hello to Kathy Mallord. Thanks Cam for that. Hello to Simon Reyes, a.k.a. Simon Tuck. He's our special guest tonight. We'll be having him on shortly. We're having a bit of a time of worship first of all, and just sharing some songs. Thank you very much, Beulah. She says, beautiful song, Rob. Hi to Sarah Thomas. Thank you very much. Hi to Michael. Hope you're well. Hi to Chris Holland as well. Hope you're very well indeed. And Sarah Kate. Hi, Sarah. Hope you're well. And Helen Chadwick. Yeah, there we are. And Ken Barwise, thank you very much indeed. It's the song, I was working on some string lines today, and I've basically written them all today, so all the orchestration and stuff like that. I write that on the keyboard. So basically what I'll do, I can, because when I write a song, I can imagine, more times than not, I'll imagine how it sounds with the finished version. It's quite a weird thing. So I'll play a song on acoustic guitar, and I can hear string lines, brass sections, all sorts of things, lead guitar, all sorts of things like that normally. And for that one, I definitely had the sort of orchestration, the strings and stuff. So I write that on a keyboard. I can't play the keyboard very well, but I can do enough to play the string lines and then give it to my producer, who's awesome at soundtracking, Gary White, and he will just make it sound phenomenal. So so I did that today. So I'm quite excited, and I'm hoping that I spoke to him today that in a week or so's time, if social distancing has been eased a little bit, I'm hoping to get into the studio, hopefully with a band, and we figured out today that we can actually send him stuff as well, so we can really crack on with the recording. We've got absolutely tons and tons of songs to record, and can't wait to share them with you, and hope that it eases slightly so that we can get those recorded and done. But thank you very much, Sarah Hilton, for that. Hi to Christopher Vaz as well. And for those of you who want something else to watch after Social Distancing Live, Of course you do. There's a wealth of stuff out there, but there's a fantastic interview with Di Woolridge, who was a friend of SDL, of course, who was on the other night, spoken word poet, and his wife, Kath Woolridge. Kath is actually coming on Monday. She's our special guest on Monday, but a fantastic interview by Pastor Chris Vaz there on the Gateway Church Facebook page. That's at Gateway Church Abergavenny Facebook page. You'll be able to watch that back tonight after the show. It's there now, actually, so please don't go yet, though. Please watch this show first. But yeah, we've got a very special guest. Simon Tuck from Premier Christian Radio is our special guest. I can't wait to have him on. But we're going to play a few more songs. If you've got any requests, please let me know, and I'll do my best to play them. But the next one I'm going to play is a brand new one, I think. Let me get it up. Oh, I haven't got the one I wanted. Never mind. This is a different new one. There we are. I mean, talking about new songs, I was talking today to Steve Quantick, who some of you know from this program, and we're looking at doing a lockdown EP. So we did have plans for an EP, but there's songs that have emerged, and there's a song that I'm hoping to finish off with him tomorrow. And we've figured out that we've actually got enough for an EP now of brand new ones, and we think that they're songs for now. So we're hoping to get those finished first before we do the stuff we'd had planned. And this is one of them. Actually, I'm not going to play that because my guitar... My Gibson guitar, the battery's gone on it, and I've got brand new strings on it, and the only way I can change the battery is to take the strings off, and they cost a lot of money, those strings, so I'm on this battered old Epiphone, so I'm not going to play that song, because that sounded just dreadful, so I'm going to play Show Us Your Glory instead, with a little bit of help. We're on our knees, crying out to you. Show us your glory. Show us your glory. Let your kingdom come. We're on our knees, we turn to you, we lay our lives down, we're laying our lives down, let your will be done, come and save our land. 'Cause your ways are higher, nothing is higher. Glorify your Son. Let your kingdom come, let your will be done as we bow before you now. Come and lead this land with your mighty hand as our hearts all cry as one. Holy Spirit, let your glory fall. Holy let your glory fall. Holy Spirit, let your glory fall. Holy Spirit, let your glory fall. 'Cause we're on our knees, we're crying out to you. Lord, show us your glory, show us your glory. 'Cause we're on our knees, we're turning back to you. Lord, show us your glory, show us your glory. Holy Spirit, let your glory fall. Holy Spirit, let your glory fall. We're on our knees, we're crying out to you. Show us your glory, show us your glory. Let your kingdom come. Thank you very much, guys. That was Show Us Your Glory, which, yes, somebody said is a top 20. It reached number 13 in the UK Christian chart this week, which is absolutely fantastic because it was only released on YouTube. And thank you for everyone who supported that and voted for it and shared the social media posts. Really, really thank you. Thank you for that. Meant a lot and so encouraging. There we are. So let's have a look who's on, because I think we've got some more people who've come on since. There we are. Janice Jones, love this song more and more each time I hear it. It really is meant for this time. Thank you very much, mother-in-law. And there we are. Anna, are you and the children taking part in this one? Sadly not, Chris. So we've got some videos that will be coming out next week on next week's Social Distancing Live. So there's a few little treats there. And Anna doesn't feature, though, unfortunately. She's very camera shy. She likes to be behind the camera giving me orders. And Simon, tonight's guest, love this song and an amazing video. Thank you very much, Simon, and thank you for all the support on Premier Christian Radio for it as well. There we are. And there's Camille. Remember, Camille was on Monday night. Please say hello to Camille. Show us your glory. And the Lord said, I will cause all my goodness to pass in front of you, and I'll proclaim my name, the Lord, in your presence. Amen. And Frank Westall, a.k.a. my dad, the goodness of the Lord leads us to repentance. Michael, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I enjoyed that very much. Thank you very much, Michael. Good. I'm glad. That's the reason for this program. One of the reasons for this program. And yes, Lord, let your kingdom come. Change the spiritual atmosphere in our land. Amen to that, Sarah. So in just a moment we're going to get our special guest Simon Tuck on from Premier Christian Radio. And but before that, I'd like to share with you a little video that you might have seen last night. And it's not Christmas. And I know, actually, I haven't got that one. Sorry, we're going to play a song that I haven't played for quite some time. This is called Overflow. It's based on Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd one, if you're familiar with that. And this was written at a time of great fear in my life. And I turned to that psalm and then ended up writing this song. So I hope it ministers to you, especially if you're feeling quite fearful and a bit uncertain and a bit uneasy. This one is called Overflow, and this one is for you. Darkest times, I will not fear, for you are with me, walking by my side. I know that you are near. Though I walk through the darkest nights, I will not fear, for you are with me, on my light and guide, to make the pathway clear. Lord,
I do apologise, we had a few technical hiccups there, but I'm going to move now to the side of the screen so we can get our next guest on. A bit like Ant and Dec, we can sort of fit inside the side. Would you please welcome our special guest tonight, Simon? I can't get the thing on to get you on. Wait there a minute, Simon. Here we go. You're left. Big social distancing live welcome to Simon Tech. Hello, Simon. Welcome. How are you? Is it a bit different for you being on the other end, so to speak? Fuzzy mic is probably me. That is me. Let me sort that out.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. It often happens when I go from singing to Skype, funnily enough, so there's a bit of an issue going on there. There we go. Is that less fuzzy, everybody? If you could, they can't hear Simon. Bear with me.
Oh, hello. You can hear me, don't you?
Yeah, so I've got it all now. Sorry, after I sing and then switch to interview, we often have some tech issues. The one week I sounded like a Dalek.
Dalek is good. That's interesting. I love a bit of Dalek action. I think there's no issues there. So
brilliant, guys. We are broadcasting about 30 seconds ahead of you, so I'm just going to wait for the comments to say that everything's okay, because so far the comments are not good. All good. There we are. The first one comes in. All good. John Chadwick says. There we are. Better says it's better.
Is it better though? I mean,
well. We'll see. But guys, this is Simon Tuck. Let's start again. Simon from Premier Christian Radio, and Simon, I was asking you, is it weird being interviewed rather than being the interviewer?
I literally have never really been interviewed by anybody, apart from when you go for a job, right? Just normally it's me. It's on the other foot. I've been so used to interviewing other people and looking for the best in other people and trying to get the best from other people that I very rarely get asked questions. So this is it. This is your chance, right?
Brilliant. So where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
Oh man, I ask these questions. Why would you ask me that? 5 years' time, I would still love to be involved in media. I would still love to be involved in doing stuff on the radio. It's just become but the truth is, and this is the honest truth, that I've lived my life by one statement: just be faithful where you are. Just be faithful where you are. And that's been when I went to Norwich Youth for Christ in 91, 92, and they drummed it into me just to learn to be faithful where you are. So it doesn't matter what you do in the future, because you're still being faithful to God in what that is. And so every job I've ever had, and I've had a few, right? That I've just tried to be faithful where I am.
Brilliant, and that's such a good statement to live by. And in terms of we obviously referred to this when the sound wasn't working, but you had me on your show, of course, and but I gather there's a little bit of an apology that you'd like to make, because
oh yeah, okay, so look, Rob, how do you spell your surname? Because I genuinely thought there was an H in there. I don't know why. In my head, it was like, oh, there must be an H in his name. Rob Westall. Obviously, it's got to be, right? So I publicly apologise, and yeah. So yeah.
Brilliant. And just to make you feel better, everybody always gets my name wrong as well. So the one of the newspapers I used to work for, they had a list on the notice board, and every time they had a caller phone up with the wrong name, and it was part of my leaving present when I left there. But my favourite one was this Yorkshireman who phoned up, and he goes, "I'd like to speak to Bob Wesley." Bob Wesley. And then after that, all my colleagues called me Bob Wesley. That was at the South Wales Evening Post in Swansea.
Well, Rob, the problem is, with the surname being Tuck, Tuck, you can just get so many variations. It's unendless. I mean, I went to a shop in Bewdley. It was a half-an-hour Photoshop. Do you remember those days when you used to take your film? You probably don't. You used to take your film into these places, and they would process it, get all your photos, no problem at all. Half an hour later, they said, half an hour. So I went, okay. So I went in, and the lady said, "What's your name?" I said, "It's Simon Tuck." That's It's truck without the R. Ha ha ha. It's like Friar Tuck. Yes, you've heard them all. And so she gave me the little leaflet. I went away. Half an hour later, came back. She said, photos aren't ready. I went, okay. That's fine. So I went away, came back 15 minutes later, and she wasn't there anymore. And this other guy said to me, who are you? I went, I'm Simon Tuck. I've come to collect my photos. Here's my leaflet. Here's my little stickery thing. And he said, no, sorry, the name you've given me doesn't match the slip of paper. And I went, well, it must do, because like I was only in here like 3/4 of an hour ago. I mean, it's not like it's like, where's the girl? Do you know what I mean? Oh no, she's gone. Oh man, no, they're definitely my photos. Now at this point, I need to point out that I literally had taken my friend's film and my film in, and so the guy said, well, look, let's open one of the prints, because you're bound to recognize the photos. There's bound to be a photo of you in there somewhere, like you did those days. The trouble was, he opened my friend's photos first. So when we started looking through the photos, there were pictures of these people on the beach that I've never seen before in my life. There was pictures of stuff that I didn't even recognize. And I went, oh my gosh, these aren't even my photos. And I don't even know who these people are. And he's looking at me going, are you sure these are your photos? And eventually, thank you, Lord, that the very last photo was a picture of me and him, which was like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? It could have got a lot worse, right?
Oh, absolutely. But mistaken identity with you is a bit of an issue, isn't it? Because you back in the 80s, you were a bit of a celebrity, and you featured in a McDonald's advert. And tell us about that story.
Yeah, you see, my dad was part of Equity, which is kind of like a big actors union, and he thought that the way forward for me was to do a bit of acting as well. And so I got a couple of parts in doing all sorts of things, but one was getting a McDonald's commercial. And I got so excited. I thought, yes, a McDonald's commercial. This is something I could really work with. I can show off to my friends. You know what I mean? So we turned up at Slough at 6 o'clock in the morning, and we were there until midnight, and we sat upstairs for hours doing nothing. And every now and then they took you downstairs and made you do a few little actions and stuff like that. And then we did this for 2 days in a row, 2 whole days. And I went, oh man, this has got to be worth it, right? It's got to be worth it. So 3 months later, out it comes. And I'm so excited. I'm telling everybody that I've been in this McDonald's commercial. And my mates, I've told everybody. I've told all my friends, the current girlfriend, oh man, I'm in this McDonald's commercial. Everybody's saying, yeah, Simon's in a McDonald's commercial. However, it came on the TV and it was so edited that all of my bits were gone. There was nothing. There was nothing of me in it. And all my mates went, "You're such a liar. You are such a liar." And I went, "No, I'm not lying. I promise you." And then after a week of me being called a liar, I'd pretty much given up. And I go, right, well, anyway, we went to see a movie at the cinema, and we sat down, and the commercial started. This McDonald's commercial, and all my mates in the row looked at me and went, "Yeah, liar. This is the one you're in, right?" And I went, I was definitely there for 2 whole days. And at that point, it's almost the cinema went quiet. And we all looked towards the screen as me appeared on the left-hand side and walked completely across the scene at the cinema with my McDonald's bag and my fake girlfriend on my arm. And I went, there. So, yeah, McDonald's commercials.
Vindication. Muck vindication even.
Muck, yes, there we go. Not open at the moment.
I'm loving it. Yeah, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Brilliant. So, I mean, obviously you work for Premier Christian Radio, you work for UCB as well. Tell us a little bit about, where you live and your family and how the lockdowns affected you, first of all, personally, and then we'll talk about the radio.
Oh, man alive. So, let's talk about lockdown. Lockdown has driven me crazy. Oh, man alive. I'm a real extrovert, a real love of people. And I just want to be out there and be with people and laugh with people, tell stories here. My family have heard all the jokes. They don't laugh anymore. Do you know what I mean? This is like, they're just not doing anything anymore. It's like, and then I'm just like, I'm the one that's working at home. Everyone else is watching Disney Plus. Everybody else is upstairs, doing their stuff, having a little sleep in the afternoon. And I'm still tapping away on the keyboard. I'm going, this isn't fair. What? Anyway, yeah, and I just got to the point where we had to learn very quickly because we were on lockdown since the 13th of March, it was very early before anything really kicked off, and we just had to after about 2 weeks we just came to the point where we had to learn very quickly how to deal with each other in lockdown. Now I've got a wife, I've got 2 kids that live with me, I have 3 older children, and they live away, but there's a moment where, and my brother lives with us as well, and it's like a packed older household. He's got a 17 and a 15-year-old, and we're busy. It's a busy household, and we suddenly had to find a way of just kind of like dealing with all of that, and not being able to get out, not being able to do anything, and it's just, man alive. You just, at those points in time, you can go a couple of ways, and I'm a pretty chill guy normally, but I found myself like getting really angry, and because I was frustrated. And there's a moment where you just go, God, I just need you at this point in time, because I'm really frustrated.
And do you live near London? Because obviously that's where Premier is based, Premier Christian Radio.
Yeah, no, totally. So I live just outside of Bedford, just south of Bedford, north of Luton, sort of east of Milton Keynes. We kind of live in a little village or village town, place called Ampthill, and it's a great place to live. And so I normally commute to London every day for Premier. When I worked at UCB, I used to live up in Stoke-on-Trent. I did that for over 2 years, and then used to come home at weekends. It was great. However, it was a point where you sort of sit there and go, man, do you know what I mean? It's just like, yeah.
Yeah, I can relate to that. When I worked at the Beeb, the shifts were relentless, and yeah, you don't really have a life, really. They have their pound of flesh, but not saying that those stations are the same, but it's very relentless in the media, isn't it? It's very sort of hard graft, despite all the glamour.
Well, that absolutely. I mean, I love what I do right now. I'm working on a show from 10 o'clock till 1 p.m. every day. I co-produce that. So behind the scenes, we zoom in on every presenter, where they are around the country. Every hour we have a new co-presenter, which we zoom in on them. Every hour the co-presenter brings somebody else in, like an interview guest, and so we zoom in on them as well. So my job in the studio is to coordinate all of that whilst taking phone calls and emails and taking your texts as well. And I love that kind of side of things. And then on top of that, I have to find 3 pieces of content for the station as well every day. So not only 3 hours worth of content, but also 3 other hours worth of content as well. And then once I've interviewed, I have to edit not only the interview, but I have to edit a video and have to then put it up online as well. And it's like, wow, I love what I do, but some days there just aren't enough hours in the day, right?
Yeah, I can relate to that. And Premier is in the centre of London. It's in a great location, and it's just a fantastic building. I was very impressed with the setup when I went there. Having worked at the BBC, it was better than the BBC is in Cardiff. So how has the lockdown affected what you do and how you operate as behind the scenes? Because presumably having a building like that and you're paying for it, you need to use it, and it's obviously going to affect the business if you're not there.
There is, so normally in the Premier towers, there are probably, I don't know, maybe in the region of about 50, 60 people.
Wow.
Currently, there's about 4 people. Every computer has a sign on it saying, don't switch off, I'm using this from home. And everybody's logged in from home, and everybody is everyone's involved in, kind of like dialing into their machine from where they are at home. And I genuinely think it's an interesting moment, because I think it's teaching us different ways of working and different ways of doing things. All the news team are recording the news from their home. All the presenters are from their home, so they've all got Rode mics, and they've all got kind of technical boxes which they can link in to the studio normally, and it's more like pre-recording. So it's like you pre-record just as live, so just literally moments before you go live, you just like literally recorded a link or so, and then and so it's just fascinating to see how technologically you can do everything from your house and connect everybody as well. So we use Microsoft Teams as a big thing that connects us all. And so we have morning meetings. Man, if you're in that world, you've just got meetings galore, right? It's a meeting after a meeting. So we have meetings about meetings, do you know what I mean? Just to kind of make sure we have enough meetings really during the day to attend. So it's really funny. So, but yeah, no, totally. It's a beautiful building. There's 3 studios there. One for Premier Gospel, one for Premier Praise, one for Premier Christian Radio. We also have sub studios as well to do recordings and also production work. And then, we just have like a whole bunch of things there. But literally, it's ghost town at the moment. absolute ghost town.
It's a massive building. Guys, our special guest tonight is Simon Tuck from Premier Christian Radio. If you've got any questions, please pop them in the comments and I'll get them to him. Andrew Robinson says hello, Simon. And,
Yay! I know, he's just sent me his new EPs, by the way. I really like to, genuinely, I don't talk about this a lot, but I love to support you guys where I can. And if once a month I can just buy your EP, or once a month I can buy a T-shirt from you or whatever, then I feel that I can like invest back into the future of Christian music. And I think that's really important, that we're in a place where we can promote the best of the best. Do you know what I mean? That kind of lie nicely alongside everybody else. And so that, honestly, Rob, that's why we love your stuff. We love Andrew's stuff as well. Bean Baker, yeah, man, I see him liking something a bit earlier, and he's such a great guy. And do you know what I mean? There's a moment where just seeing some of these like festivals where we kind of like grow some of these artists and see those artists and, you know, keep working hard, because we need your music to sound and lie nicely next door to Michael W. Smith. Do you know what I mean? To lie next door to Chris Tomlin. And if it does that, the quality of it sounds the same, then it's going to get airplay, right?
Brilliant. And Andrew Robinson says, Simon, you're a massive support for Christian artists. Thanks, mate. And just want to echo that as well. You've been very supportive of me, and thank you for the advice you've given me as well as I've started out. But basically, with the music that you play, it's an eclectic mix. But what I wanted to ask you, the slogan for Premier Christian Radio is "Where Faith Comes to Life." And I wondered if there was, what does that mean for you personally, where faith comes to life? Have you got any experience in your life where that has become the station you now work for, the mantra, not the mantra because that's the wrong word to use totally, but the slogan that they use, where has that become real for you?
Well, I mean, certainly for radio, I think there's, for me, when I was a presenter and still co-present now, there's something about connecting with people. Because what an opportunity that we have is that I'm always just thinking of the one listener, connecting with the one person. That's all you can ever do it to. You can't think there's 1 million people or 1,000 people or even 10 people. It's just the one person. So if you can connect with that one person and say, look, really appreciate who you are. I love who you are. Look, you're going to love this music as well. I think we love it as well together. And if you can have this and we can grow together like that, then that is just brilliant. And I think their slogan, "The Faith Comes to Life," is just, how can I best resource you as a person with music, and also with an interview that kind of enables you to go, man, wow, what you just said was like, whoa, do you know what I mean? And I've heard, you know, stories, and I speak to people on the phone regularly enough to kind of like hear those kind of moments where they go, I just heard God. Literally just heard God speaking through what that song did. A lady texted today, she goes, I'm in tears. I've just heard that UK Blessing song again, and I'm just it's giving me goosebumps. I'm in tears. Another person got in touch and went, I heard this song for the first time. I sent it to my friend who doesn't believe, and they just were touched by it completely. And what power that there is in music, and what power there is in radio that enables me to kind of like touch lives in a way that actually would grow them in God, challenge them in God, and help them as a person as well. And I think if I could play my small part in that, then that would be amazing. Now, I used to do ambassador events for some of the radio stations. That means going out to places and talking about it. And people know you, and you don't know people. I'm no celebrity, all right? I'm no celebrity. But this woman come up to me and she goes, do you remember me? And I went, blimmin' heck, love, I have no idea who you are. What? And she goes, it's me. I played one of your games once and I was on air. And for her, for that 3-minute slot, I was her best friend, and I was her buddy, and I'd sent her some stuff. Do you know what I mean? That probably I'd nicked off someone else's desk, but I'd given her my time for that 3 or 4 minutes, and she was not a lover of me, but actually she went, I just love who you are and love what you've done. So that's when faith comes to life. When I see people being challenged, when I see people responding. We talked about this a bit earlier, and we said sometimes you don't know. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't know when someone's had an effect on your life, or you've had an effect on someone's life, and they don't tell you, and they don't pass it on, and they don't say anything, and they don't say anything about your music. And I love your video, by the way. I think it's fabulous. And there's that lovely moment when that young girl is like lifting her hands, and you've got people around you, that couple singing and swaying and everything else. And there's a moment where it's incredibly touching because it's personal, and you've made it personal for us to kind of be a part of that as well. So
thank you, Simon. You're listening to Social Distancing Live. Our special guest, Simon Tuck from Premier Christian Radio, and hello to Judith Suter. Hope you and Will are all okay there. And so we've got some questions that have come in, Simon, if you don't mind. Before that, my dad says, very interesting interview, giving us greater insight into this side of God's work. Question, first of all, from John Chadwick. Is there pressure for Simon to play the more established and US artists over new British artists? Going straight for the juggler there.
Going straight for the juggler. You know, the truth is, the playlist is about the quality of music. I'm going to be honest with you. It's about the quality. And I can assure you the amount of CDs and music that comes past my ears and to the music people, the people who are behind the music on the station, they want quality. I don't need to hear your Hammond organ, playing in the background with the cats meowing and you're chipping away. And it just because you haven't got the quality right. And that's a bit sad. I think it's genuinely about quality rather than just going for the pressure to have American and audience. I am a big believer and lover in homegrown music. I'm a big lover and promoter of black music as well, because I think there's got to be fair representation. But I'm a big lover of people who can I give you a help in hand? Can I give you a leg up? And can I help you sell a few more CDs that will give you bread to eat for your next week's mood? Let me do that. Do you know what I mean? And I would happily promote stuff that's going on, but I just want to make sure that actually that my role gives a variety of music. So you will hear some American artists, but man alive, we've got over 500 UK artists. Do you know what I mean? That could do with a helping hand and a push and a leg up. And how do we best do that? And it's honestly, give me some quality in your music, give me some quality in your recording, and then it's more than likely that it should make it to air. Genuinely.
Great. And
that was a bit long-winded, wasn't it? Sorry.
No, it's okay. We've got quite a lot to get through, so keep them shorter than that. I'm only joking, by the way. So Gavin Owen, who's known as Gavin from the Rhondda, he's a videographer here on SDL. I'm calling it SDL tonight, guys. What do you think of that? Yay or nay, or should I just say Social Distancing Live all the time? Gavin says, what album or band gave you your passion and interest in Christian music?
That's a really great question. And I'm going to be absolutely honest. My first introduction to Christian music, because I became a Christian when I was 17, at that time I was listening to people like Adrian Snell, honestly, and people like Amy Grant, who were big at the time. And then I absolutely love people like Carmen. Honestly, I just had some weird eclectic taste. And then when I joined British Youth for Christ, then I meet all these wacky bands, and for me it was just those early days of kind of like Amy Grant and like Carmen, that kind of real variety of music there that kind of gave me a contrast and think, oh my gosh, actually this is okay. But I'm going to be honest with you, can I be really honest, just very briefly? There's a lot of rubbish Christian music for a long time. Really was. And it was like, oh no, this is terrible. And I even like kind of went, when I was told that I might be working for a Christian radio station, I went, oh no, it's just a lot of rubbish music. And I was just so grateful that I rediscovered lots of brilliant bands. So, but early days, Amy Grant, Adrian Snell and Carmen.
Brilliant. And aside from Rob Westall, who's your favourite artist at the moment?
Oh, Rob Westall. Oh, your brother was Rob Westall. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Oh man, alive. At the moment, I think it varies on the kind of day that I'm having, genuinely, because I do like an eclectic mix, and I've got to be honest, I do love Crowder. I just love having met and interviewed him. He was the funniest man I've interviewed. by a long shot, genuinely, only because he was just like, there was a moment where we kind of connected. In fact, there's a number of people there, but for him, I just love his stuff. Crowder.
And for those of you who don't know Crowder, he's got a massive beard, not ZZ Top-esque, but he's got a massive beard, isn't he? He's quite, he does stand out.
Truly, yeah. My friend Jane is here. Hello, Jane.
Hello, Jane. Welcome, Jane. I can't see who comes up, so Simon can see things I can't. So please say hello. Hi to Jane there. And we've got a question here from Michael Rose. Michael says, has Simon worked with Rick Easter, one broadcaster I enjoy?
Rick makes me laugh so much behind the scenes, as well as the stuff that he does on radio. He is sorely missed at the moment. He's not been very well. He's just not very well, and so hence the reason why he's on furlough at the moment, because we're just looking after him and concerned for him and stuff like that. So I just find working with him was the funniest thing ever. I really have an akin with him, his sense of humor and everything else like that. I love taking part in his show from behind the scenes. I'm not allowed, really supposed to do that, but I just absolutely love him. He's just so funny, really, really, really funny. So a lot of time for Rick Easter, a lot of time for the man.
Brilliant. Thank you, Michael, for that question there. And we've got Dawn Ruth Tech. Hello.
That would be my
Any
wife.
relation?
Yeah, she's downstairs. I'm hello, wifey, and hello, Jane.
Brilliant, excellent, awesome. So Simon, in terms of what is sort of the future? Do you think? Obviously, hopefully we're going to come out of lockdown soon.
Yeah.
But obviously, do you think the face of Christian media will change quite dramatically? After all this, obviously the as you mentioned there, the UK Blessing has done fantastically well, and Kath Woolridge, who features in that from Sound of Wales, is our special guest on Monday. You're on Social Distancing Live, of course. So, I mean, that was what I found is that video, and obviously Show Us Your Glory, which you reference as well. It's very much like a lot of our experiences at the moment, where you get those grid Zoom calls, and the quality doesn't seem to matter that much. It's not as slick or as smooth. People are just getting stuff out there because it's for now. Do you think that will impact the Christian media at all?
Yeah. Interestingly, we were talking to Tim Hughes. This isn't a name drop, by the way, but we're talking to Tim Hughes, and he's to say the future of worship will look different. The future of singing will be different. The future of how things come together will look different. Look, how amazing is it that we are contacting so many more people in this time of social distancing than we ever have done? We have the answer to what is death. Do you know what I mean? We have the answer to how to live life, and it's not rocket science. That we've always had the answer, but now we've got the voice to kind of make it happen. And I'd almost be sad, and I'm almost quite sad and quite controversial. I'm quite sad that the Anglican Church wants to kind of just reopen the churches as soon as possible, because there's a moment where we are meeting so many more people on a one-to-one level, as well as going out clapping. We've never met our neighbours like we've met them before, and I just think there's a moment where musically, I think there'll be so many more combinations. Do you know what I mean? So many more collaborations. Do you know what I mean? Where people will come together to sing together, but not because of who they are, but because of the music they want to bring. The passion that you have behind your song. I know we've talked about this. You probably mentioned this already, but the passion that you have when you were sat with your mum and dad listening to those stories of revival, there's a moment there where you say, man, I'm hearing what has happened, and I'm sensing what is happening right now, and I want to be much more. And I think, like when they say, like, you lose your sight, your other senses are enhanced or whatever. Don't know if that's factually true, by the way, but there's a moment where I think that's what's happened. The church has lost its arm or a leg or something, and suddenly it's become a little bit more aware of other things that are going on around them, and wanting that to be just so much a part of, wanting to be in that community, wanting to support and help the community, and wanting to be involved in those things. And I think worship music, sorry, this is a very long-winded question. But I just think worship music will look very different. I just think there'll be more. I just hope it's going to be less about the person and more about the sound. The UK Blessing was a specific answer to that, wasn't it? you don't know any of the names, you just know the churches. And it's about, we're actually already been working together anyway, but now we're working together some more. And I think let's do more of it's not about them, it's about the material that goes with it.
Absolutely. I think that's only a positive. And actually, Jesus said, go into all the world, didn't he? And the church is going to where all the world congregates, and that's on social media. Because before it was seen as a negative that everybody was on social media all the time, but the church has gone kicking and screaming into social media because that's the only way it can broadcast its services and things like that.
Yeah, and I think the quality of quizzes has really improved as well. And I'd just like to say there's some really rubbish ones out there. And there's some brilliant quizzes. And there's some very innovative ideas that people are doing. And I love it. But some people, man alive, don't do a quiz if it's like going to last hour and a half. Do you know what I mean? Please stop.
We actually had a life group quiz, our church life group last night, and we won by 0.5 point. And we won some chocolate brownies, so they're being delivered.
Wow,
soon.
what provided by yourself, or do you
No,
do they come to your door?
Yeah, they've been delivered. They've been ordered, but that was the prize for the winners, and we won by 0.5 mark. It's fantastic. So I agree with you. The quality of quiz prizes have gone up as well.
Oh, I love that idea. I love the idea that the quality of quiz prizes. I mean, I've got actually a drawer full of books that I need to give away, but I can't give anything away at the moment. So it's just like, it's just daft, really. But there we go.
Brilliant. Well, Simon, thank you so much for being our special guest on Social Distancing.
Hey, no, thank you.
It's been a real fascinating. I hope it's been a real fascinating insight to everyone who's tuned in, because obviously I've worked in the media as well, and I appreciate that it is interesting for people who haven't or have some interest in it. Gavin Owen says, according to The Guardian, 1 in 4 people surveyed have tuned into religious services online in the last 6 weeks. And I was saying to you, wasn't I, the other week, that the church I go to, Gateway, it's just gone phenomenally. Like, we're reaching thousands with our services, whereas it's only a couple of hundred normally. Not only a couple of hundred, but you know what I mean. It's just just insane. And yes, so I mean, that's only my experience. You've obviously been talking to lots of people all over the country, all over the world with what you're doing. What is it the same across the board in your experience from what you've heard?
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's a genuine rise of never been easier to talk to someone about prayer. Never been easier to talk to someone about, how are you feeling about all of this? Man alive, you don't have to be anxious. You don't have to be upset. You don't have to, you know what? We've always had the solution. Do you know what I mean? But we're just a bit rubbish at knowing what to do with that, and a bit rubbish about knowing how to share that as well. And I think there's a moment where never has been a better time. And I'm in an incredibly privileged position. I hear like 20 or 30 interviews. No, that's a lie. About 5 to 6 interviews a day where I'm just hearing story after story after story about how, there's a moment where God has stepped in, do you know what I mean, to someone's life in Corona, where they've just been near the brink of death, and they've kind of like gone, where are you, God, in all of this? And God has stepped in and spoken to them, or been with them, or grown with them. I've been speaking to people in Lebanon who worried about, and even this last week I spoke to someone in Bangladesh about, just think, your house at the moment, just take one of the rooms in your house. And in Bangladesh, there are about 10 to 12 people living in that room. There's 10 to 12 people living in one room. And they're worried that the coronavirus, if it just gets into one house, then it will spread like wildfire. And the church is praying, and the church is kind of looking out for what God will do. And the numbers in these countries have been so incredibly low. It's just, oh man, is this a move of God? Do you know what I mean? In a way that's like protecting the poor, looking after the needy, caring for the homeless and the widow. Do you know what I mean? Is this God's ultimate kind of looking after? Do you know what I mean? Those people there. And to some of the interviews, it's all about that leveling of understanding that rich or poor, you both, anybody can get it. Do you know what I mean? There's no protection there as well. So I'm very privileged. I hear so much, and I don't ever want to be blasé about it.
No, and to be honest, it's quite, what Christian radio does, it just inspires, when we hear testimony, when we hear stories of faith, of what's going on, it's empowering for us, and it builds our faith as well. And so thank you very much for all that you do. And also the radio, do a lot of gigs, or I used to do a lot of gigs. And
those were the days, eh?
Yeah, but the radio's a companion. I quite enjoy having the radio and listening to the radio when I'm driving to places and things like that. So, what you said about that woman who thought that, she felt you were her friend, I can relate to that, because there is a sort of companionship role to it all. But thank you, Simon, for what you're doing, and thank you for coming on. It'd be great to have you back on again, actually, if you're free amongst all that you're doing.
I mean, what am I doing is lockdown, right? Well, thank you. Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for everyone that has asked a question. And I love the job I do, and I'm very privileged to be in the position that I am in. And I get hundreds of emails a day asking, "Can you play my song, please?" Please, I'll only play Rob Westall. Do you know what I mean? That's all I'm going to play, right? 24 hours.
Well, what requests would you like to have? I've got a few videos, not many, but I'll give you a choice of two. You've got No More Tears.
Choice of what? Hang on a minute.
No More Tears or Show Us Your Glory. You've got two songs there.
Well, please. I know. I love it. I mean it. I genuinely mean it. I love Show Your Glory. If you could play that video, I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rob, for having me.
Thank you, Simon. And also, Camille says, thank you, Simon. Janice Jones, great interview. Thank you. There's a double high five from Josh Payne there from the Light Room. Nancy Westall, that's my mum, by the way. She says, really fascinating interview. Thanks, Simon.
Hi, Mum.
And Beulah Cheeseman, thank you, Simon. Fascinating listening to you. So a lot of love for Simon. From Premier Christian Radio. Simon, good luck with all you've got to do, and we'll just pray for energy for you during this time. But this is, do you want to give this a DJ intro?
Oh, I'm available for discos, by the way. Right, okay, look, you're listening to Social Distancing Live. This is Rob Westall. This has got to be one of the best coming out of kind of lockdown videos that I've seen. The passion, the emphasis on the simplicity of words, but the power behind them is what you're hearing. This is Show Us Your Glory.
We're on our knees, crying out to you. Show us your glory. Show us your glory. Let your kingdom come. We're on our knees, we turn to you, we lay our lives down, we're laying our lives down, let your will be done, you come and save our lives. Your ways are higher, nothing is higher. Glorify your Son. Let your kingdom come, let your will be done as we bow before you. crying out to you. Show us your glory. Show us your glory. Let your kingdom come.
Hello, well, welcome back to Social Distancing Live, and what a fascinating interview and insight into the world of media with Simon there, and he's absolutely shattered, bless him. He's been working so hard, and that station I know brings a lot of companionship to people, and also the Christian message to people as well. And so please pray for Simon, and look him up on social media and say hi as well. So there you go. Thanks very much indeed, everybody, for tuning in. We've got there's no programme tomorrow evening because it's the bank holiday, it's VE Day, so happy VE Day bank holiday to you all. Hope you have a great one with your families. And basically there's a few things that are going on this weekend, including this on Sunday night. Please tune in for 7 o'clock via at Gateway Church Abergavenny, and also on this at Rob Westall music page as well. We've got a gig. I'm doing a gig in aid of the Operation Gateway Relief, and we've got some fantastic donation prizes. So if you donate, you get some goodies, all in aid of Operation Gateway Relief, which provides meals for the most vulnerable in our society, but also for frontline NHS staff. They're doing 100 meals a week, I think it was, for NHS staff in Neville Hall Hospital here in Abergavenny, which serves the surrounding county, and also to vulnerable adults referred to them by Monmouthshire County Council, and children as well, and families. So they are resourcing that themselves and need all the donations they can of food and money as well. You can find all the details on the Gateway Church Abergavenny website of how to donate. There's a GoFundMe page as well, and details of that I'll post on my social media over the weekend. But on Sunday night we're going to be holding a free gig, absolutely free, with some music, and we'll be having some little videos as well of why we're doing what we're doing as well. So please tune in for that. If you've got any requests, please message me any of my songs you want me to play, and I'll get them ready for that gig as well. Please join us. It should be a fantastic evening, and please spread the word, because obviously we want to raise as much money as we can for such a worthy cause, which is helping so many people. And basically here's a little taster of the actual gig. Marvellous. There are actually some details as well on that video of how you can give as well and get involved, so please scroll back and have a look at that after the programme's finished as well. Next week, of course, we've got an action-packed schedule for you as well. We've got Kath Woolridge from Sound of Wales. You might have seen her in the UK Blessing video, that wonderful song that they've done there. So she's going to be on, and of course we had the Half Die on the other week, the spoken word poet, who I know many of you tuned in loved that programme as well. So Kath's going to be coming on, sharing some of her music, some of the the work that she's been doing with Sound of Wales, and all sorts of other things as well. Tuesday we've got the wonderful Bean Baker, and he's recorded some very special content for us. Can't wait to share you with that. Such a talented man. He's a fabulous musician, but a great story smith as well, and we're going to have a great laugh with Bean on Tuesday night as well. Still confirming the rest of the week. Friday on the 15th, we've got Andrew Robinson, who will be launching his new EP. He's coming on to the show to launch his new EP with us. And I've also had a very special news today. So those of you who know Christian music from the 70s, 80s, 90s will be aware of a certain Mr. Dave Bilber. I spoke to Dave today, and Dave is going to come on to do a special social distancing live with us, a special gig with questions and answers as well. So that is an absolutely incredible treat and a great honour to have him on as well. So I will be confirming that in the next couple of days, the date with him. I've sent him a few options, so he's going to get back to me as well. There's also a few other guests. We've got a fantastic worship collective from Ireland that are going to be not launching their record, but they're going to be just the day that they release their record, they're coming on to share some of the songs from that as well. So there's absolutely tons of stuff as well. So Gav, I was going to keep her under wraps, but I can't contain it anymore. And also I said that I was broadcasting social distancing live till the end of May, so we thought, well, how can we sign off in style if that indeed is the end? And I thought, well, I was due to play a couple of festivals and things like that, and gigs and all sorts of things this summer. So we're going to have a social distancing live festival, music festival, at the end of May. We think it's going to be on Saturday the 30th of May, and I'm just talking to a few of the people who've already been on and who are going to come on as well, to see if they'd be involved in that. So that's something to get excited about and put a date in your diaries for. I think it's going to be Saturday the 30th of May, unless I tell you otherwise, of course, but details of that are going to come up shortly. I'm just going to give you some details of what to expect next week, though, including that gig, just so you can jot it down. There you go, details of what's coming up next week. So Sunday, don't forget, 7 o'clock is the gig, the charity gig in aid of Operation Gateway Relief, and also Monday, Kath Woolridge, Tuesday, Bean Baker, and then I'll reveal on Sunday more of what's coming up next week as well. Fantastic. We've also got another guest booked in for the week after next, Pete Jones from Elevate Church in Abertillery in Gwent there, and that is a church which has just gone from 0 to about 150 members in no time at all, and Pete and Adele often come on the comments here. I don't know if they're watching tonight though, but yeah, so some really good guests coming on, and there's a few surprises I'm working on as well for you as well, which I hope to be revealing shortly as well. So of course, if there's anybody you'd like to hear from that you would like me to put a bid in for to try and get them on, please let me know. But in terms of me and this evening, thanks to Simon Tuck, our very special guest from Premier Christian Radio this evening. Thank you for tuning in this week. It's been a real good week. I'm absolutely exhausted as per usual at the end of it. You've got to give everything in, haven't you, and leave nothing on the table. But you can catch me Sunday morning, Gateway Church, at Gateway Church Abergavenny, leading the worship there, God willing, and also 7 o'clock Sunday night on the Rob Westall music page on the Gateway Church Facebook page as well. That will be broadcast, and on the YouTube channel as well. So if you've got any requests, please let me know. But something that Simon said earlier, he said something about, you know, how at this time, you know, the landscape's changing, and that we have the answer, we have the way to live through Jesus. And, you know, if you need an answer right now, if you need something in your life, if something that what we've shared tonight has touched you, if you've tuned in for another broadcast from before and you want to know more about Jesus and know more about the faith that I have and my friends have, please message me after the program. It's no chance that you're on tonight. It's no chance that you've tuned in. Please message me. My virtual door is open, and I'll try and help you as much as I can. And if I don't know the answers, I can certainly connect you with people who do. And God bless you right where you are. So I think tonight, if you've been feeling very fearful and anxious about things, that's one of the themes that's come up this evening. Then that could be you. That could be God knocking on the door of your heart and saying, "Hey, I'm here. I'm here to give you peace. I'm here to give you comfort." So if that's you this evening, please get in touch with me. It'd be great to talk to you and connect with you. There we are. So thank you very much indeed for tuning in. John Chadwick has already got a song in for the weekend. Rock on Which I Stand hasn't been played for a while. So okay, I'll get that one ready. That's on the list now, John. That's done. Job done. That'll be on Sunday. Thank you to Sarah Thomas as well. She says, thanks, Rob. Thank you very much indeed. I reckon we should have a Guess the Beard competition. Okay, Gav, that's a good one. Especially lockdown beard. There we are, I like that one. Excellent stuff. Thank you very much, everybody. Beulah says, so going to miss these evenings. Well, Beulah, perhaps you won't have to. However, after lockdown, I think I'm going to need some help to carry them on. If they're meant to carry on, they're meant to carry on. But I don't know. All I know is that they're meant to carry on to the end of the month. So in April, I knew that I was meant to do them to the end of April, and now I just know that I'm meant to do it to the end of May. So let's just see how it goes, and let's see what happens and what's provided as well. God bless you all. Love to all your families. Pray provision, health, security, mental health, physical health. Bless you all. And of course, please get in touch with me. Don't be scared. I'm very approachable. Just send me a private message if you want to talk about Jesus and possibly knowing him as well. God bless you all, and have a great bank holiday weekend, and hopefully see you Sunday 7:00 here on Social Distancing Live. I thought I'd leave you with a song that I think I've only played once before here on Social Distancing Live, and it's the last track on the album Born to Worship, and that's my debut album, which is available from my website if you'd like to support me and what I do. I'd really appreciate that. This is No More Tears, and it talks about the hope and assurance that I have, and many of you tuning in have, through Jesus Christ, that no matter what happens, we know our final destination. Night, God bless everybody. Love to you all.
No more tears, no more no more pain.